Okay, let's see if this works. Hi, my name is Keaton Gaughan and I use they, he pronouns. I'm in my second year of the Women and Gender Studies Master's program at UT. Today I'm going to be talking about I'm going to be reading excerpts from a paper called Electronic Music as Trans Worldmaking, Glitching Pop with Dorian Electra. I'll begin by locating the genre of electronic music as a definitive part of trans history through the work of Wendy Carlos. Then I will shift my focus onto queer fantasy pop performer Dorian Electra and their 2018 track Career Boy. This song and its video allow me to theorize on the ways in which the sonic glitch becomes the rupture through which more livable trans and queer worlds are created and sustained. So this is a bit of a history on the synthesizer. So the synthesizer, or synth for short, is a musical instrument that generates audio signals and has the capacity to take an organic sound and recreate it electronically. The first synth emerged in the US around the mid-1920s. An electrician by the name of Robert Moog is credited for developing the first analog synthesizer in 1964. While Moog is considered the creator of the analog synthesizer, without the help and friendship of a trans woman named Wendy Carlos, Moog's synthesizer may have never made it into public consciousness. Wendy Carlos, or the trans godmother of electronic music, as she would be dubbed in a 2015 Vice article, is known for bringing synthesized sounds to mainstream audiences. Carlos scored a number of classic films, including Stanley Kubrick's 1971 film, A Clockwork Orange, and his 1980 film, The Shining. Carlos also famously scored Disney's original 1982 film Tron, as well as Disney's Beauty and the Beast soundtrack in 1986. In her debut 1968 album, Switched on Bach, Carlos blends the boundaries of genre and by reinterpreting the greatest hits of classical composer Johann Sebastian Bach, using a synthesizer that Moog and Carlos built together. Carlos's ingenious debut album, Switched on Bach, acted as a catalyst for a musical paradigm shift, one that we still feel the reverberations of today. This shift was characterized by an intentional blurring of genre and a newfound fluidity of both mode and medium, causing waves of disruption for electronic music that became the vitally necessary rupture through which all future trans musicians could emerge and continue Carlos's work of gender and genre bending as liberatory practice. Stuart Hall writes in Notes on Deconstructing the Popular, "It is not popular culture itself that matters, but rather it is what one does with popular culture that truly makes a difference." Which brings me to the focus of this paper, gender nonconforming fantasy pop artist and satirically self-proclaimed musical genius Dorian Electra. Dorian Electra is a white, gender-fluid, queer icon who, armed with satire, a keen critical eye, and immense musical talent, is working to provoke and politicize the work of pop music and, above all else, entertain in the process. They are challenging the confines of conventional pop by interrogating cis and queer masculinities alike, the implications of capitalist society, and a host of other systemic problems through their music and visual aesthetics. Like Wendy Carlos before them, Dorian Electra is changing minds in music, unbounded by gender or genre. So here's some context on Career Boy. In an interview in June of 2018, Electra begins by explaining the meaning of the song to them, saying that Career Boy is about the addiction to work that our modern society forces us to have in order to succeed. It's about someone who learns to love the pain of the endless grind and who gets off on it, working overtime for the man, despite the long hours and loneliness. Thus, in this video, Electra performs an embodied critique of corporatized hypermasculine tropes by satirizing the ways in which masculinity is performed and enacted by cis men in Wall Street-esque workspaces. Electra continues explaining their self-aware, deeply queer and satirical approach to this hypermasculine culture with the following statement. Quote, "I wanted to subvert and poke fun at this masculine ideal of the manly businessman hero and tear him apart and also make him very queer. I identify as gender fluid, and it feels really liberating to be able to put out a pop song referring to myself as boy." With the context, I want to play the first minute or so of Electra's Career Boy video, and I'll show part of the bridge because it's my favorite scene. I want to do this in order to help ground my analysis. And then here is the bridge. Okay. There we go. Okay. So theorizing the sonic glitch. Legacy Russell, in defining the glitch, explains that it acknowledges that gendered bodies are far from absolute, but rather an imaginary, manufactured, and commodified for capital. This notion of stable, unchanging gendered bodies as being inextricable from the economies that produce them is another point that Electra is making in Career Boy. Moreover, Russell's quotation helps us contextualize Electra's use of glitch in this particular song as an unsettling of the stagnant norms associated with sexed and gendered bodies, as well as an act of world making for communities of trans and queer folks alike. Another theorist who's talking about glitch, or I guess was talking about glitch in 2015, is Andrew Brooks. So, concerned with the possibilities of failure, a concept originating out of queer theory, sound studies scholar Andrew Brooks theorizes on the technological glitch, examining the result when this type of sonic disruption or failure is amplified within those sonic systems. The compelling argument made by Brooks is that the glitch, a defining feature of experimental music, is a productive framework for thinking about modes of decentered knowledge production and minoritarian politics. I argue that Dorian Electra deploys the glitch in nearly every song they have released and or collaborated on. They operationalize the glitch as a disruptive force in their music, disturbing the normative flow and linear structure of most mainstream pop songs. This is one of the many ways in which Electra invokes queerness into their music. So glitching gender through synth and satire. The following lyrics play as the song begins to build in momentum toward the chorus. I can never fight the feeling I stay up all night, working so hard after hours till I see the sunlight. Stuck up in the office tower, you know it's pure joy. Accompanying this lyrical verse are several short clips being cycled through in rapid succession, the pace increasing with a chaotic ferocity. In one clip, we see Electra hitting the side of the computer after it freezes up. That technological freeze is another, possibly more tangible example of glitch in its ever-present existence in Electra's project. As Russell reminds us, glitch is, quote, an error in function, a mistake, a failure function, end quote. Contextualized within technoculture, a glitch becomes, quote, a part of a machinic anxiety, an indicator of something having gone wrong, end quote. Electra tethers the concept of glitch to the very core of this project, from which we are able to glimpse the slippery splashes of glitch soaking through the humorous yet poignant sonic and visual commentary that Electra is offering through their work. Timed perfectly with the glass smashed on head maneuver is the first glitch sequence of this song that corresponds with the onset of the chorus. Here, Electra utilizes the synthesized disruptive sound of glitch to do a few things. First, to point to the synthetic nature of society's rigid notions of binary gender roles and of cis hypermasculinity in the workplace that exists in every frame of this video. And two, by engaging the electronic synthesized sound that is glitch, Electra is paying homage to their ancestors, the originators of electronic music, people like Wendy Carlos, who paved the way for Dorian Electra to be their absurdly queer and trans self and openly express that through their music. The onset of the chorus collides with the glitch sequence in an interesting way and can be visually rendered as follows, with the slashes representing the sonic glitch. Each line of this satirical chorus is punctuated with a crack, the glitch. When conceptualized as a productive failure that redistributes agency by upending normative structures within systems, i.e. the flow of a song, the glitch becomes a queer practice of community building. Coupled with Electra's fantastic and futuristic approach to pop music, the glitch, when featured in their songs, creates a rupture, an opening through which alternate queer and trans worlds become more conceivable and thus possible. Making the imaginative leap through the glitch then becomes a world-making practice in and of itself. That is all I have for you. Thank you.